You are exhausted, not sleepy exhausted, but soul exhausted, drained from pretending everything is fine, worn out from faking confidence, sick of watching people who did half the work get double the rewards. You are the one who hustles hardest yet has the least to show for it. You have pushed yourself until your spirit feels like sandpaper, sacrificed everything, struggled through it all while keeping a smile. And for what? You are still in the same place, just more drained and more hollow. But here's what nobody ever tells you. The moment you stop chasing is the moment things start flowing to you. The ancient Stoics understood something modern manifestation culture completely misses. Marcus Aurelius did not beg the universe. Epictetus did not force outcomes. Seneca did not manipulate energy. They mastered something far more powerful: the art of relaxed alignment. Comment, I'm ready, if you are done forcing and ready to flow. Today you will discover 10 Stoic rules that will transform how you manifest. Not through desperation or attachment, but through calm, unshakable presence that makes you magnetic without trying. These are not just philosophy. They are psychological principles proven over 2,000 years. When you apply them, something strange happens. Opportunities appear. People are drawn to you. Doors open like magic. But here's the warning. The rule you skip might be exactly what you need most. Watch until the end. Your future self will thank you. Let us begin. The first rule is deceptively simple yet changes everything. Epictetus said there are things within our control and things outside it, and when you confuse the two, you lose your power. Think about the energy you waste trying to control other people, its opinions, their decisions, the economy, the weather, the past. All completely outside your control, and every ounce of energy poured into these things is energy stolen from what you can actually influence. Your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your character. This is your domain. This is where your power lives. Here's what happens when you apply this rule to manifestation. You stop obsessing over outcomes. You stop refreshing your email 17 times waiting for replies. You stop checking your bank account anxiously as if staring at numbers will change them. Instead, you focus on what you can do right now. You show up with excellence. You refine your skills. You cultivate your inner world. And paradoxically, when you stop clutching desperately at results, results flow toward you. Why? Because desperation repels. Calm confidence attracts. When you are no longer needy, no longer attached, no longer dependent on external validation, you become the kind of person opportunities naturally gravitate toward. Master your domain, release everything else. Marcus Aurelius wrote something that sounds impossible until you truly understand it. The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. Read that again. What is blocking you is the path. Most people see obstacles as proof manifestation is not working. They hit resistance and think the universe is against them. They encounter setbacks and assume they are on the wrong path. But the Stoics saw obstacles completely differently. Every challenge is information. Every setback is training. Every no is redirecting you toward a better yes. When you adopt this perspective, failure becomes impossible. You are either succeeding or learning, either winning or becoming stronger. Think about the person who loses their job and uses that devastation to finally start the business they have been dreaming about. Or the breakup that feels like the end of the world but actually frees them to meet their true partner. Or the rejection that forces them to develop skills they never would have built otherwise. The obstacle is not stopping your manifestation. It is shaping you into the version of yourself who can actually handle what you are asking for. So next time something goes wrong, pause. Ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How is this redirecting me? What strength is this building in me? The universe is not punishing you. It is preparing you. Rule number 3. This rule might sound pretty dark at first, but it actually turns out to be one of the most freeing practices in all of Stoic philosophy. It goes by the Latin name premeditatio malorum, which translates to the premeditation of evils. Before you start thinking this sounds way too negative and pessimistic, let me explain what this practice actually accomplishes. Seneca used to teach his students to spend time regularly imagining that they lost everything they currently have. This was not some attempt to actually attract loss into their lives, but rather a way to completely remove the fear of loss. Because here's what is really going on. The vast majority of your anxiety is not actually about what is happening in your life right this second. It is all about what could potentially happen down the road. You are not worried about being completely broke at this very moment. What you are worried about is the possibility of becoming broke in the future. You are not currently suffering from rejection right now. What terrifies you is the thought of facing rejection at some point ahead. Your mind has imprisoned itself inside fears that do not even exist yet. They are phantom fears. When you practice this technique of negative visualization, what you do is mentally rehearse the worst possible outcomes. You picture your business collapsing and failing completely. You imagine your relationship coming to an end. You envision your reputation getting destroyed and damaged. And then you pose this critical question to yourself. Could I actually survive this situation? Would I still be all right on the other side of it? The answer you arrive at is almost always going to be yes. And that realization right there is what freedom actually feels like. The moment you know deep down that you can handle the worst thing that could happen, you immediately stop operating your entire life from a place of fear. You stop holding on so tightly to everything. You stop making desperate choices that come from a mindset of scarcity and not having enough. You finally relax into the present moment because you are no longer being terrorized by futures that only exist in your imagination. And here's the paradox that emerges from this practice. The instant you are no longer afraid of losing something, you actually become more attractive to that very thing. Desperation pushes things away from you. Detached confidence pulls things toward you. When you face your fears in your mind, they completely lose their grip on you. Rule number 4, Marcus Aurelius held the position of being the most powerful man in the entire world. And yet in his private journal that he wrote just for himself, he wrote these words, "Confine yourself to the present." Why would someone with the power of an emperor need to keep reminding himself of something that sounds so simple? The reason is because the human mind operates like a time machine that does nothing but torture us. You are never actually existing in the present moment. Your mind is constantly replaying that embarrassing thing that happened yesterday, or it is rehearsing the catastrophe you think is coming tomorrow. You are reliving failures from your past, or you are fantasizing about success in your future. And while you are doing all of this, you are completely missing the only moment that actually has any real existence. That moment is this one, right now, this exact instant. This is the place where your power actually lives. Just think about the enormous amount of mental energy you burn up living inside timelines that do not even exist. You spend time worrying about a meeting that is still 3 days away. You stress yourself out about a deadline that is not due for another 2 weeks. You keep going over and over a conversation that took place last month. None of that is actually real right now in this present moment. The Stoics understood something crucial. Anxiety is always concerned with the future, and regret is always concerned with the past. If you anchor yourself completely in the present moment, both anxiety and regret simply dissolve and disappear. Here's how this principle applies directly to manifestation. When you are constantly projecting yourself into the future, asking yourself questions like, when is it going to happen? Why has it not happened yet? What if it never happens at all? You are vibrating at the frequency of lack and not having. You are essentially telling the universe this message: I do not have what I want. But when you are fully present, when you are fully engaged with whatever is right in front of you at this very moment, you exist in a state of completeness. You are not sitting around waiting for your life to finally start. You are actively living it right now. And that particular energy, the energy that radiates from someone who is already complete and whole, is what makes you magnetic. Be here in this moment now. Everything else is just imagination. Rule number 5, Epictetus made a statement that cuts straight through all the nonsense in manifestation culture. He said this: he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. You have become so intensely focused on everything you do not have that you have gone completely blind to what you actually do have. And that blindness is costing you absolutely everything. Here's the brutal truth you need to hear. If you cannot find it in yourself to be grateful for what you have in your life right now, you are not going to be satisfied when you finally get what you think you want. You will just move on to finding new things to desire, new gaps to obsess over, new reasons to feel like you are incomplete. The person who needs to own a luxury car to feel successful will need to own a mansion the moment they get that car. The person who needs a partner to feel loved will need constant validation from that partner once they have them. There is no end to this cycle. It is like a treadmill of dissatisfaction that never stops running. But when you cultivate genuine, real appreciation for what is already present in your life, your health, your mind, your freedom, the sunrise you can watch, a good conversation you can have, a moment of peace you can experience, you shift into what is called abundance consciousness. You stop operating from a place of lack and not having enough. And here's what the Stoics actually knew. When you genuinely appreciate what is already in your possession, you naturally attract more things to appreciate. This does not happen because the universe is giving you some kind of reward. It happens because you have transformed into the kind of person who actually recognizes value when they see it. You are no longer walking around blind to opportunity. You are no longer numb to beauty. Gratitude is not some kind of manifestation trick or technique. It is a state of being that fundamentally transforms how you experience reality itself. Stop chasing after more things. Start actually seeing what is already right here. Rule number 6. Epictetus gave us one of the most powerful principles for manifestation that has ever been written down. He said, "Demand not that events should happen as you wish, but wish them to happen as they do happen, and you will go on well." This is not resignation to your circumstances. This is not being passive and giving up. This is what the Stoics called amor fati, which means the love of fate. And it is the secret to becoming completely unstoppable in your life. Most people wear themselves out fighting against reality. They argue with what is actually happening. They resent the circumstances they find themselves in. They spend all their energy wishing that things were different from how they actually are. And by doing this, they keep themselves stuck in the exact same place they have always been. But here's what the Stoics figured out and understood. Acceptance is not the same thing as agreement. You can accept the fact that you are broke without agreeing that you should stay broke. You can accept the reality that you are single without agreeing that you need to remain single forever. What acceptance actually means is that you stop burning up energy by denying what is real. The moment you accept what currently is, you unlock massive amounts of energy that can now be used to change whatever can actually be changed. You stop wasting time complaining and you start creating instead. You stop pointing fingers and blaming others and you start building something. You transform from being a victim into being a creator. Think about it using this comparison. If you find yourself inside a building that is on fire, you have two choices. You can waste precious time being angry and upset that there is a fire happening, or you can accept that there is a fire and immediately put all your focus on getting yourself out of that building. One response keeps you trapped inside. The other response sets you free. Manifestation is not about trying to force reality to bend itself to match your will. It is about accepting reality completely and fully, and then taking action from a place of clarity and power. Surrender yourself to what is currently happening, and then start building what is going to happen next. Rule number 7. Marcus Aurelius wrote these words: "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." This particular rule is what separates people who are emotionally dependent from people who are emotionally sovereign. And it is absolutely critical when it comes to manifestation. If your sense of peace depends on external circumstances going a certain way, you are never going to be at peace. If your happiness requires getting approval from other people, you are never going to be happy. If your confidence relies on outcomes going the way you want them to, you are going to live your life on an emotional roller coaster that will destroy you. The Stoics practiced something that was pretty radical for their time: emotional self-sufficiency. They trained themselves to maintain inner calm no matter what kind of external chaos was happening around them. This was not because they did not care about outcomes or results. It was because they refused to surrender control of their emotional state to forces that existed outside their control. Here's why this matters so much for manifestation. When you are emotionally dependent, you radiate desperation in everything you do. You need to get that job. You need to be in that relationship. You need to receive that validation. And that neediness is something people can feel. It is palpable. People sense it, opportunities sense it, and they move away from it. But when you are emotionally self-sufficient, when your peace comes from within yourself, when you are genuinely okay whether things work out the way you hoped or not, you become magnetic to others. You are no longer chasing after things. You are no longer begging for outcomes. You are simply being yourself. And that centered presence is incredibly attractive to others. Think about the person who is so desperate to be in a relationship that they will settle for being with just anyone who shows interest. Now compare that person to someone who is genuinely content being alone but remains open to making a connection. Which one of these two people actually attracts healthy love into their life? The exact same principle applies to everything else in life: money, success, friendship, respect. Stop outsourcing control of your emotional state to external things. Build an inner fortress inside yourself that cannot be shaken by external storms. Not because you do not care about what is happening externally, but because you refuse to be enslaved by it. When you are complete and whole within yourself, the external world rearranges itself around you. Rule number 8. Seneca said something that modern manifestation gurus completely miss and overlook. He said, "Expect nothing. Live frugally unsurprised. The Stoics held the belief that you should act with virtue, courage, wisdom, justice, temperance, not because acting this way would get you something in return, but because it was simply the right way to be as a human being. They did not do good things expecting to receive a cosmic paycheck for their actions. They did good because it aligned with who they were in their character. This completely flips manifestation on its head. Most people approach manifestation transactionally. They think if I visualize enough times, I will get what I want. If I say my affirmations enough, the universe will deliver what I asked for. If I raise my vibration high enough, rewards will come flowing to me. But that approach is still just sophisticated begging. You are still operating from a place of lack. You are still treating the universe like it is a vending machine where you put in certain inputs and expect specific outputs. Here's the Stoic approach to all of this. Act with excellence because that is who you are as a person, not because of what you are going to get in return. Show up with integrity because it reflects your character, not because someone is watching you and keeping score. Build your skills because mastery is its own reward, not because you are chasing after some kind of payoff. And here's what happens when you shift into this particular mindset. You stop being attached to specific outcomes. You stop keeping score of what you give and what you get back. You stop feeling resentful when things do not work out immediately the way you hoped. You simply become the kind of person who does excellent work, who treats people well, who shows up consistently day after day, who operates from abundance rather than scarcity. And that person, the one who is not desperately chasing after things, not keeping tabs on every interaction, not playing games with people, is the one that opportunities naturally flow toward without effort. When you stop doing things for the purpose of manifestation and start doing things as the manifested version of yourself, manifestation becomes inevitable. Be the person first. The results will follow after. Rule number 9, the Stoics practice something called memento mori. This phrase means remember you will die. It sounds pretty morbid and dark when you first hear it, but it is actually the most life-affirming practice you can possibly adopt. Marcus Aurelius, who held the position of the most powerful man on earth, regularly reminded himself that one day he would be nothing but dust. He did not do this to make himself depressed. He did it to keep himself present, to appreciate everything he had, and to stop wasting his time on trivial nonsense that did not matter. When you truly internalize the concept of impermanence deep in your core, everything about how you see the world changes. That argument you are holding on to and refusing to let go of, it will not matter even a little bit in 5 years from now. That embarrassment that is consuming your thoughts right now, not a single person will remember it 6 months from today. That failure you feel so ashamed of, it is just one single moment in the vast expanse of a lifetime. But also consider this, that person you love so deeply, they are not going to be here forever. That opportunity that is sitting right in front of you, it comes with an expiration date attached to it. This moment, the one you are experiencing right now, is already gone. When you remember that nothing lasts, that everything is temporary, you stop clinging so desperately to things. You hold things with an open hand rather than with a clenched fist, and paradoxically, that is when you are actually able to enjoy them. Think about the way you ruin relationships by being possessive and controlling. Think about how you ruin success by being paranoid about losing it. Think about how you ruin enjoyment by being terrified that it will end. But when you accept impermanence as a fact of life, when you know that loss is inevitable and cannot be avoided, you are finally free to be present with what is here right now in this moment. You stop hoarding things. You stop trying to control everything. You stop living your life in fear. And here's the insight when it comes to manifestation. When you are not clinging to things, when you are not attached to specific outcomes, when you are genuinely okay with things ending, you create space for new things to enter your life. You are not blocked by fear of loss anymore. You are open, receptive, and available to what comes next. Everything is temporary. That is not a tragedy or something to mourn. That is actually a gift. It means you do not have to hold on so tight to everything. Let go and watch what arrives in your life. Rule number 10, this is the rule that ties everything together into one complete philosophy, and it is the one that most people violate constantly, sabotaging their own manifestation in the process. You want what you want, and you want it right now. You have decided that if it does not happen by Friday, by your birthday, by the end of the year, then it is simply not coming at all. You have appointed yourself as the judge of what perfect timing looks like. and that impatience is killing your dreams before they have a chance to materialize. The Stoics understood something profound about how the world works. There is a natural order to things that exists whether we like it or not. Seeds do not become trees overnight. Muscles do not appear on your body after one workout session. Mastery does not emerge after one practice session. There are seasons to life. There are rhythms that things follow. There are processes that simply cannot be rushed no matter how hard you try. Seneca wrote something important. He said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." Notice what is missing from that equation: your timeline, your demands, your impatience. When you trust the process, you stop asking yourself, why is it not here yet? You stop checking the ground every single day asking, where is my harvest? Instead, you plant the seeds. You water them consistently. You trust they are growing beneath the surface, even when you cannot see anything yet happening above ground. Here's what this looks like practically in your everyday life. You focus on becoming the person who is worthy of what you want. You show up consistently, even when results are not visible to you or anyone else. You refine your character as a human being. You develop your skills and abilities. You do the work without needing immediate validation or proof that it is working. And then one day, maybe not on your schedule, maybe not in the way you expected it would happen, everything clicks into place. The job offer comes through. The relationship materializes out of nowhere. The breakthrough happens in your life, not because you forced it to happen, but because you were ready when the moment finally arrived. The universe is not withholding things from you. It is preparing you for what you asked for. It is arranging circumstances behind the scenes. It is aligning timing so everything works out. And your job in all of this is not to micromanage that process. Your job is to stay in alignment with who you are becoming, to keep showing up day after day, and to trust. Marcus Aurelius faced assassination attempts on his life, plagues that killed thousands, wars that devastated his empire, and betrayals from people he trusted. Yet despite all of this, he wrote these words: "Accept the things to which fate binds you and love the people with whom fate brings you together, but do so with all your heart." He trusted the process, even when the process was absolutely brutal and painful. That is the final rule you need to understand. Trust that what is meant for you will not miss you, but also trust that if it is not here yet, you are not ready yet. And that is completely okay. Relax your grip. Stay aligned with your values. Let it come to you. So there they are, 10 Stoic rules that will completely transform how you manifest everything you want in your life. Not through force and pushing, not through desperation and neediness, but through calm, unshakable alignment with your higher self. You control only what you can control, and nothing else. You embrace obstacles as opportunities for growth. You practice negative visualization to eliminate fear from your mind. You live in the present moment instead of past or future. You desire less and appreciate more of what you already have. You accept what is currently happening, then act from that place. You become emotionally self-sufficient and independent. You act with virtue, not for reward or recognition. You remember nothing lasts forever, and that is okay. And you trust the process, not your timeline. These are not just rules you follow. They are a way of being in the world. And when you embody them, when you stop chasing things and start attracting them instead, when you stop forcing outcomes and start flowing with life, everything changes around you. You become the kind of person that opportunities seek out and find. You become someone that people are naturally drawn to. You become someone that success naturally gravitates toward without effort. But here's my question for you. Which rule resonated most deeply with you? Which one made you uncomfortable when you read it? Which one did you want to skip over? Because that is probably the exact one you need most in your life right now. The Stoics did not teach comfort in staying where you are. They taught transformation and growth. And transformation requires you to face exactly what you have been avoiding all along. So go back through this, re-watch this content, let it sink in deeply, and then do the hardest thing of all, actually apply it to your life. Your future is already trying to reach you. Stop blocking it with desperation and fear. Relax your mind and body. Trust the process, and let it come to you. If you are ready to stop chasing things and start attracting them, if you are ready to trade desperation for alignment with your true self, leave a comment below saying, "I trust the process." And do not forget to subscribe.